Story 1. I grew up in an abusive home. I developed major depression and complex post-traumatic stress disorder as an adult because of it. For a long, long time, I threw myself into healing. I really believed that if I went to therapy and did all the things, through everything modern science and spirituality have to offer at this, that I would be better one day. But now I accept that growing up that way has cost me the sorts of things that can never be repaired because what my brain and body needed as they were coming online for the first time just wasn't provided. And there is no going back now to magically put it there. It will never ever be there. The way is shut. The only thing I can do is accept this as my past. Learn how to cope. Try to move myself toward progress rather than perfection, and hope others see value in me in spite of my history. But there is no such thing as healing because this isn't some broken bone. There is only learning how to cope. And you can lead a very fulfilling life if you do. There will be moments of terror and self-pity, but there will also be pockets of joy. Mindfulness really helps because it helps me accept the cycle of life. Now there is pleasantness, now there is unpleasantness, now there is pleasantness again. Soon there will be unpleasantness again, but it will be followed by more pleasantness. Story 2. That I will have chronic pain for the rest of my life. It's stolen everything but my partner from me. That man is a saint, but I'm afraid he will get fed up at some point. Story 3. In an alternate universe, there is a rich, successful, well-adjusted version of me absolutely excelling in every aspect of life. And he's 6 feet tall, ladies. Story 4. I've accepted that life moves in its own rhythm and you can't rush it. People come and go, and not every dream comes true, but peace comes when you stop fighting what can't be changed. Story 5. Most people don't have the means to make a huge difference. You will fade into obscurity just as most everyone else has for thousands of years. I just want to make a few people's and dogs' lives better for having been here. Story 6. That I am an average, basic human being with nothing interesting about me. The most mediocre of the mediocre. Nothing to offer, and I will leave no mark on history. Story 7. Death is what makes me feel alive. Without the fact that everything I do is temporary, I would not be who I am. I would not struggle for anything. I would not strive for the best. Death is the only thing that gives us humans a purpose, and that is written in my mind. Story 8. No matter how much or how hard I work, I will never be able to afford retirement, buying a home, or even renting on my income alone. I'm going to work myself to death. Story 9. I don't need to listen to the voice in my head that says I'm not doing enough. That voice made me do great things, but also cost me a lot of peace of mind. Story 10. I've learned not to count on anybody, and I need to be the hero I need. Sometimes, people just won't like you and you shouldn't waste time or energy trying to get them to. I can lead a horse to water, but making them drink is a whole different ball game. It's their life, not mine. Story 11. I will never accomplish any of what I want to do in life by staying in this dull, backwards little town. I am planning on moving to a much bigger place and starting my career by April of next year, and anyone who tries to discourage me can just be quiet. Story 12. People see my kindness as a means to an end. They treat me as a tool or a trophy if they don't already treat me like a naive child. I am an adult. Forget humanity. Story 13. That I am always going to be prone to anxiety and depression. I have a sad brain and I am sensitive. And that kind of sucks, but it also drives me to push harder and achieve the things that really matter to me, and gives me empathy to be a better therapist than someone who is just happy all the time. And I have to put in like 10 times the work to be okay. But there are at least coping skills to manage it. Story 14. I have no dad. I mean, the man who participated in making me is still alive, and I talk to him every few months. But he isn't a dad, and I'm okay with it because I put myself in a really great place without any of his help. Story 15. That I have autism and it's a disability I can learn to manage well if I have appropriate support, but it's not a condition I can treat and get better from and not have anymore. Story 16. The life I wanted myself to have and the life that I currently have are very different. But it doesn't mean that I failed to achieve a good life. It means that a good life can appear in different ways. Story 17. I have accepted that life moves in its own rhythm, and you cannot rush it. People come and go, and not every dream comes true, but peace comes when you stop fighting what cannot be changed. Story 18. I will never be happy. I can't remember whether it happened even once in the past. I don't know how it tastes. I sometimes feel amused or safe, and that's about it. Story 19. That I don't really have career aspirations. I just want to enjoy life, have fun, and spend time doing things I enjoy. Unfortunately, I have to have a job for that. Thankfully, I'm in an industry that pays well so I can enjoy my hobbies. I'm a work-to-live type of person. I don't understand people whose job is their life. Story 20. That's a fun question. In my opinion, there's zero proof of what might come after death. So as unpleasant as it is most of the time, I'd rather feel and deal with the unpleasantness in my own way. Keep on keeping on. We'll all figure out what's next when it's our time. Story 21. I have basically accepted that I might have borderline personality disorder or bipolar disorder, and it's overlooked because everyone thinks it's just anxiety when it's way more than that. I just try to manage, and I will probably sporadically disappear, traveling around without telling anyone. Story 22. That I am fully responsible for the consequences of refusing to make changes in my life and refusing to work towards being a responsible, independent adult who can take care of myself. For too long, I have remained dependent and sat comfortably with little to no responsibility. Therefore, it has had drastic effects on how others perceive me and my inability to contribute in meaningful ways. My desire to be comfortable, sleep in, and have no real responsibilities has led me to feel completely unfulfilled, miserable, and depressed. I am not someone who has the respect of his family and peers. Story 23. I made poor choices in friendships and relationships, mostly based on thinking I didn't deserve better, lack of options, and not having a clear idea of what I needed from a partner other than a pretty face in my younger days. Story 24. These are some of the few things I learned as I got older. 1. I'm never going to be the pretty or good-looking one, but that doesn't mean my life has to be miserable, even if it means that I remain single. Having time for myself is a privilege in itself since not many people have time for themselves, and if they do, it's hard to come by. 2. Also, I may not be the smartest in my class, but I can be hardworking, which from personal experience is much more important than relying on raw talent or intelligence. 3. Sometimes, there are people who will never like you for no reason, which is something you can't control. But what you can control is how you feel about it, and I learned that it's not worth the effort stressing over it. Story 25. That having children did not, in fact, ruin my life and take away time and the desire to enjoy things. My job did that, but I love being a parent, and I don't regret a single minute of the video games I no longer play or dancing to the music like a complete idiot. And I'm at peace with the sleepless nights because it's for someone I love more than myself. Story 26. That most humans are boring, and it's not going to get any better. I'm surrounded by women with celebrity obsessions and men who obsess over grown men playing ball. Story 27. That our family will always do things a bit differently from others, and that I will need to be there for my children in ways different from other parents after the kids grow up. Story 28. Not everyone is going to have the same experience, the same outlook, or the same perspective as you, given any scenario. It's unreasonable to assume as much. Story 29. I do not want much, and I have come to accept my contentment. It used to bother me, and I would think I was weird for not wanting a house or cars and other things. I am pretty boring, but I am happy. Story 30. That I am better off if I stay single. I'm not suitable for a relationship with the type of woman I want to be with, and that's on me. The type I am suitable for is not the type I will be happy with. Unless I change myself, it's better to stay single. Story 31. That I have to live it. When all I really want to do is die. I'd say 3 to 7 times a day I'd rather harm myself all over the wall in my office. But I have 2 kids. If I didn't, I'd have painted that place already. Story 32. That I am not normal. I fully accept the fact that I am the most chaotic and weird person you will ever meet. And that's what makes me special. Do not be afraid to be like you are. Being a weirdo is what makes you special. Story 33. I am 56. My life is difficult. I never had kids. I have no friends. My parents, brothers, and sister all died. I never leave my house. I have a wife whom I rarely see, as she chooses to live somewhere else with my dog. I hate working. If I were old enough to get Social Security, I would. I have not worked in 2 years, and I have drained all my liquid savings. I have a couple of retirement accounts I could cash out, but I do not want to pay the penalties and taxes. I guess I will have to get another job that I hate. Working all night long in a dingy machine shop doing something that I hate is my only option. I have really bad social anxiety. Just to get to the finish line is going to be a challenge. I guess I have to accept it at this point. What choice do I have? Oh well, it is what it is. Story 34. Chronic pain and fatigue. It is difficult, but I deal with it. The fact that my dad is not supportive and never really cared about me, despite pretending for a while. That I wasted a lot of money on a degree which is not in a useless major that I cannot use because of my medical condition. I am stuck in a dead-end job, slowly affecting my well-being, making my chronic pain and fatigue worse. Story 35. Most of the best times are over. My knees are riddled with arthritis and I can hardly walk. I'm tired all the time. I'm being monitored by a doctor, and he's trying different treatments. He said I probably need a knee and hip replacement. That may take years. So I still hold on. You never know. Story 36. That I will never feel real happiness and that one day I will choose not to be here and that is okay with me. Also, that I am better off on my own, so I will not hurt anyone anymore. Story 37. I might be alone forever, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm a little jealous. All my brothers have partners, but I'm extremely introverted. I get stressed by the idea of someone always being there. Also, I'm 35, so it's like having one foot in the grave already. Story 38. That I am forever going to be fighting against the system, unfortunately. Another thing is that I have to be content with who and what I am. I've hated my struggles plenty of times, but at the end of the day, I am happy to be alive. Just sucks at times. Story 39. That I am just not going to feel okay. I need to accept that despite the mental health issues and financial struggles, I have a decent life with a lot of love. I just wish I could feel it all in color, instead of this grayscale. Story 40. I am happier when I am single. As in not even in a talking stage with anyone. Maybe I am just super sensitive to energies or something, but I feel like I lose part of myself, like they are siphoning my energy throughout the course of the relationship. Also, I do not really like being told what to do, what to wear, or how to act. It would be one thing if I was a complete failure or a social recluse, but I am neither. Oh well. Story 41. That no relationship is a guarantee, no matter how much it seems that way. I know it's sad, but it's true. Make sure you love yourself and remember that you have yourself always. And God, if you believe in that sort of thing. Story 42. Due to abuse as a child, I'm going to need to make a conscious effort every day and work harder than most people in order to just maintain a decent standard of living and happiness in general. I also likely will never be emotionally healthy enough to find and keep a lifelong healthy romantic relationship. Story 43. That my relationship with my immediate family was and will never be what I expected when I was growing up, a Lifetime movie, Full House kind of happy environment. Story 44. I just turned 60 this summer. I have cerebral palsy, use a power wheelchair, and have struggled with anxiety and depression since high school. I don't expect any more romantic relationships at this point. Story 45. My 43-year-old finished high school, went to college, had 4 kids, lost a kid, and had a 25-year marriage that is looking like it's pretty close to ending. My last child is going to college this year. My oldest one is 23. My ex-wife thinks she's 18. I have my 4-bedroom house that used to have the sounds of children, good times, big old hubbubs, and happy days. Now I sit in a big lonely house by myself. Student loans are paid off, the house is paid off, and cars are paid off. I have a little female puppy. She helps. I have accepted that things will never be the same. I should be horribly sad, and I probably will be at some point. I'm just too tired. Story 46. I don't have any real career aspirations. There are certainly jobs I think would be more enjoyable than others, but I don't really feel any type of ambition. I figure my job will just end up as a means to pay for the things I'm interested in. I'm still in college, though, so maybe I'll figure something out. Story 47. Sometimes life doesn't go the way you planned. Taking the easy way out in tough times will only lead to tough times. Stick it out and figure out what works for you. Sometimes giving up what you want may lead to getting what you need. Story 48. It will take a while for me to actually function like a person my age should. I just need to keep going. I went through a lot of psychological abuse that skyrocketed when I turned 18 because the physical abuse needed to stop or they would actually be in trouble. I have gotten the hang of a lot of things I did not know how to do before, like cooking, cleaning, and saving money. I got my general educational development certificate and am going to college, but I basically have the understanding of a 14-year-old child at 22. This is a big improvement from 8, but therapy only helps so much. There are a lot of things I still need to unlearn, but I am getting there. Story 49. I did not get a great start. School has not been easy. I feel like an imposter in college, and the one thing I have found I am really good at is locked behind 6 more years of school potentially, and I am sweeping the wheels on this wagon as I ride it.